Hi everyone! Today's topic is realism, why I decided to leave it behind and follow a more creative path with my own art. So, if you're here to fish some kind of realism is not art comment by me, you're in the wrong place. I respect all kinds of arts and artists, and that's not why I chose to leave realism behind. What I chose was a personal preference and not some kind of opinion that one is better than the other. Many of you already know that I am a gamer. I've been a gamer for a while now, and I like this kind of art and work and life. Fantasy is a second world for me. I've played video games, and my favorite movie is Avatar, so you can see why I would choose to do this kind of art anyway. The problem was that when I started, I did want to create something like that, but I didn't know where to start. I would just sketch a couple of characters, and it didn't take me long to realize that it was impossible to put what I had in mind into paper without having some basic knowledge first. My first reaction was to study from photographs. I thought that if I could learn how to create realism, I would be able later to create my own things from my own imagination. I now see that this was probably not the best path to take, but it led me here, so I'm happy for it anyway. That was the decision making at the start of my journey. My first step was to pick a photograph. I picked one of my own dog, Rooney, I drew it, and because I wasn't shy, I posted it on Facebook. The reactions I got were amazing. Everyone was excited, and if you see that drawing now, you won't understand why. Anyway, I was excited too because people liked it, and so I was bold and decided to draw my husband as the next portrait in line. The thing is, exactly after that, people around me started asking me for portraits for themselves. So I followed along. I was experiencing some kind of success. Everyone was excited about my work and would think that I'm some kind of an amazing talent. And you know how that works sometimes. Our ego gets pumped up and you get absorbed into a hole that you never realize that it's not the hole you want to be in. Don't get me wrong, I am grateful for everything that happened back then, and I am thankful for everyone who supported my journey from the start. I am not regretting any of those. It was just not my goal, and with all of that success and that excitement from others for what I was doing, I lost my purpose. So I spent a whole year drawing people from the orders I was getting, mostly, and animals because it was my big love from since I was a child. I would pick wildlife photos mainly and draw them. I switched from colored pencils to pastels. I was excited about that too. I was learning a lot and I was improving, and people were reacting to what I was doing, so I would get even more excited because of my external validation, and I kept going like that. My turning point was the kiss. Those of you who know me for a while now definitely know this pastel painting of the mama tiger and the baby cub that are somewhat kissing because she's licking her nose, and it's cute and it has the perfect lighting from the back, and my Instagram blew up. I was getting so many followers every single day because of that. I would get featured in almost every page I knew, and I couldn't believe it. It was happening, I was excited about it, and people were all excited about it as well. Only I realized that the reason why this painting was so good was because the photograph was so good. I was getting credit for an amazing photograph someone else took. That's how I felt, at least. I mean, yeah, it takes some skill to take a photograph and turn it into a painting, but the reality is that the main reason why that painting was so good was the photograph. And that's when I realized that I didn't feel good about it. Again, don't get me wrong, I think it's perfectly fine to work from photographs. I still do work from photographs, and I had paid for this one. I had the copyright to use it, but it didn't feel like it was me creating something unique. And I knew, and I realized after that if I couldn't find an amazing photograph, I was unable to create an amazing painting. Which got me thinking. And when I started thinking, I realized that this was never the path I wanted to be on. Realism was supposed to be a way to get where I wanted to go, and in the meantime I was lost because I was getting external validation for what I was doing. And I was becoming someone that I wasn't because I felt that I would let people down if I stopped doing what they think is so incredible. Can you relate to that? Because I think we can all relate to that. It was the scariest decision I've ever made. It felt again that I was throwing away my safety and what I had built within the couple of years that I was working with all of that, and starting fresh, ignoring everyone's opinion, ignoring everything that was expected from me, and doing my own thing just for myself. It wasn't easy, but it didn't take long to realize that I was happy. I was finally doing what I wanted to do, and it also didn't take long to find the people who liked what I do in a different way. They weren't the same people, but they were people who could understand what I was doing and who liked what I was doing. Looking back, I realized that instead of regretting me moving on, I regret the time I spent doing realism instead. It feels like I had a superpower, I could fly, and instead I was choosing to walk to work every day. It wasn't me. I was doing it for the world around me. I didn't know who I was really, and I wasn't brave enough to embrace who I was and follow my dream without thinking if success is around the corner. I now know why I create art. I create to make the world a happier place, a more beautiful place. I think reality is harsh enough as it is. We have enough grey surrounding us, so I want to add color to the world. I want to create magical places and magical worlds because that's where I feel my best. I want everyone to have superpowers and embrace the superpowers they do have in reality and don't realize it. And that's something that I would never have with just copying photos. I now find it extremely boring to take a photograph and copy it exactly. I mean, it's like reality is here, we live in reality. I do not want to create more reality. I want to create something that doesn't exist. I hope I kind of explained my reasonings behind all of that. I hope that some of you, if you relate, you will be brave enough to do the same, because I promise you, freedom of expression and the feeling that I'm having right now is priceless. I encourage everyone to follow your own passion and do what you really want. If realism is what you really want, go for it. I'm behind you. But if it's not and you're just doing it for the people around you and because you think that's what you're supposed to do, just move on. Find your thing and follow your passion. I think I talked enough though. I'm taking a lot of your time out and I'll stop. So I hope you liked this video, I hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoyed my bit of an explanation and my story so far. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about that. Even if you're not an artist, have you experienced something similar in any other aspect of your life? If you did like this video, remember to leave a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like this, consider subscribing. I will be uploading weekly. I hope to see you on the next video, and until then, be safe, be happy, and keep going for your dreams. Bye!